Hello Bloomington, I'm Mayor Tim Bussey, and this is the Council Minute for the week of April 14th. On Monday night, the Council received an update from the team working on the new Community Health and Wellness Center project. Our last check-in was back in February, and a lot has happened since. To start, this facility began as a 136,000 square foot project. With the budget in mind, the design team reduced the size to 106,000 square feet. And after sharpening their pencils even more, they brought the total square footage down to 103,000 square feet. The space reductions were made strategically to stay within the $101.8 million budget while still preserving all the key program spaces. Since September, the team has hosted focus groups, surveys, and open houses to gather feedback. They've used that input to shape key elements of the design, from inclusive locker rooms and welcoming spaces to senior-friendly programming and areas for community connection and socializing. The project is now at the 100% schematic design milestone. The design includes a central lobby with intuitive wayfinding, flexible multi-use community rooms, an exterior walking trail and an indoor running track that circles 2 gyms, and safe visitor drop-off zones. The layout prioritizes visibility, openness, and community connection, and it does it across spaces like the gym, aquatics, and the lobby. The updated exterior and interior renderings show the welcoming front canopy, the lobby areas for crafts and check-in, and bright open fitness areas upstairs. A couple of items to note. First, as I'm sure you know, the new center will be located on the site of the Creekside Community Center. And Creekside is set to close on June 1st. There is a transition plan in place, and Creekside programming will continue at 2 interim locations, the Bloomington Center for the Arts and Logan Lodge. In total, 95% of Creekside's programs will continue at these new spaces. A few specialized programs like the woodshop, boutique, and billiards are being relocated or reimagined in creative ways, including a mobile display unit for the boutique. When the new facility opens in 2027, there will be expanded programming with even more options from aquatics and fitness to creative arts, wellness, and multi-generational social experiences. The second programming piece I want to mention is the event and banquet space. Since the beginning of this process, we've heard a lot of community interest in and support for event space for things like wedding receptions or retirement parties. The original design showed a space large enough to accommodate up to 250 guests. Due to space reductions, it's now scaled back to a capacity of 144. It would take about 1,500 additional square feet to get back to that 200-seat capacity, and the team is actively studying how that might happen. As you would expect, the city is closely monitoring the finances of this project, and you won't be surprised to hear that the most concerning risk right now is the potential impacts of tariffs on goods and materials. The team is watching this closely, but there are a lot of unknowns. Another unknown is the possible loss of federal funding. The team has been looking at funding from the Inflation Reduction Act as a source to really amplify sustainability elements at the Community Health and Wellness Center. If that funding is eliminated, it would reduce sustainability investments by $5 to $8 million. Now, despite those concerns, the design still includes geothermal systems, rooftop solar panels, and native landscaping that helps manage stormwater. We're also pursuing LEED certification, so stay tuned. Here are the next steps in this project. Through the rest of April and into May, the team will continue to refine design and materials, and by the end of May, we will have 50% design development documents in hand. That information will lead to updated cost and pro forma estimates in early June, and the team will be back to present those updates later in June. This project continues to move right along. Keep an eye on the Bloomington Forward website for up-to-date information. This week, the Council heard the city's annual assessment report. It's a detailed look at property values across Bloomington that helps shape the conversation about next year's property taxes. The report includes a lot of information, and here are some high-level takeaways. First of all, the report showed modest but positive growth citywide. Bloomington's total taxable market value increased by $145 million. That's 0.8% growth over last year. Not a huge number, but much better than going the other direction. A big part of that growth came from new development. $128 million in new construction value was added to the 2025 assessment roll. The median value of a single-family home in Bloomington is now $365,400. That's a 1.1% increase from last year. And the remarkable part is that the median value of a single-family home in Bloomington has increased 62% in just 10 years. On the commercial side, most segments like retail and industrial saw 2 to 3% increases in value. The one exception was office properties, which are down about 5% this year as the market continues to adjust to post-pandemic work trends. The apartment market also saw a small drop, about 1%, even though $71 million in new apartment value was added through recent construction. As I said, this report includes a lot of information. If you're really interested, I'd encourage you to watch the presentation from Monday night, or take a look at the report online. As our city assessor wrapped up his presentation on Monday, I asked him for the 3 most important takeaways. Here's what he said. First, property values are fairly stable throughout the city. Second, while the office sector saw a decline and is a big part of Bloomington's commercial market, we're still in much better shape than the downtowns of the 2 central cities. And finally, if you have questions about your property's value, or if something doesn't seem right, or if you need information about relief through property tax refund or senior deferral programs, now is the time to speak up. Our assessor's office is always happy to help people understand the value of their homes. And finally today, on Monday night, I provided a status update on the search for Bloomington's next city manager. As I hope you know, Assistant City Managers Elizabeth Tolzman and Kathy Hadeen have been serving as interim city managers. Over the past couple of weeks, the council has done a performance evaluation of our interim city managers and offered very positive feedback, including notes on strong team building, improved communication, and cost savings. Council members agreed to maintain the current interim structure while we move forward with a formal search for the permanent city manager. A search firm will be engaged to support that work, and I want to thank both Kathy and Elizabeth for their exceptional leadership and steady hands during this transition period. That wraps up this week's Council Minute. Thanks so much for tuning in. Until next time, stay safe, Bloomington.